This episode of Crappie USA TV is brought to you by Genco Fishing. For high-quality baits, rods, and all your crappie and bass fishing needs, visit GencoFishing.com. Lake Cumberland is one of the largest man-made lakes in the United States, spanning over 65,000 acres with 1,255 miles of shoreline and over a mile across at its widest point. Created in 1952 with the construction of Wolf Creek Dam, this beautiful lake is popular among boaters and weekend vacationers. Over 1,500 houseboats occupy the docks along the shores of Lake Cumberland, and powerboats are an uncommon sight among the fishing craft. Besides being a powerhouse for tourism in southern Kentucky, Lake Cumberland also boasts several state records for largest fish. Anglers from across the country will go head-to-head for a cash prize of over $12,000, as well as qualification for the Green River Lake Kentucky Crappie USA Classic taking place next month. Welcome to Somerset, Kentucky for the 2020 Crappie USA Super Event on Lake Cumberland. The winners of this year's Lake Cumberland Super Event will go to the fishermen with the best combined weights for Day 1 and Day 2 limits. The total prize money this year is over $12,000, which will be distributed amongst the top 20% of the field, and up to 54 teams will qualify for the Green River Lake Classic taking place in October.
Yeah, hi, I'm Robert Denon from Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, Tim Harris from Plainville, Georgia.
And I'm John Hicks from Adairsville, Georgia.
Dale Thompson.
Eddie Milby, Greensburg, Kentucky.
We're both from Greensburg. I'm Jason Kesters.
Jake Hanksler.
We live around Grand Lake St. Mary's area, New Bremen, Ohio, and Botkins, Ohio.
I don't know exactly where they're going to be biting, but I think they're going to be in 22 to 40 foot of water. They're probably going to be suspended 25 feet is what I'm thinking when I'm looking at the scope.
Some of the teams are going to catch them really, really deep if they can keep them alive, and then there'll be a few that are found shallow early in the day before it gets too hot.
We fished 2 years in a row, and it's been a hard lake for us. The last year we was here, it was the water level was real high, windy and cold, and I think we ended up with like 4 pounds. So we kind of went back home, and this being a lake that we needed to conquer, so we're back again this year.
We've fished here a lot in the past, yes we have, and good and bad. It's always a nice lake, but the fishing can be really tough, sort of feast or famine lake. Normally the better fish come off the south end of the lake, which would be the black crappie. Fishing Creek would be more the white crappie typically, and typically they're the easier fish to catch. So we typically fish here in the spring and do really well. Get some big fish out of this lake in the spring. The fall's a little tougher. Right now it's transitioning from summer to fall, so it's definitely a tough bite.
I think the hardest part, if you can get them to bite, is going to be able to keep them alive because we're bringing them up from such a deep area. So I think they're going to be deep. The water temperature is 79 degrees, so I think they're going to be deep for this tournament. I think it's going to be a very tough bite. I'm going to try spider rigging first thing in the morning, around 25 foot of water. And then after that, I'm probably going to go single pole with a slip bobber, about 10 to 15 foot down, hopefully in some brush I can find.
We'll be spider rigging. Well, today we pulled cranks, and that didn't have a lot of success, so going to change it up tomorrow.
Fish seem to be setting close to cover on the bottom, so we're going to get down there with them.
We'll use, of course, Freaky Frank jigs, and single pole some, and then we may slip over if we slow down on that, we may go to double minnow rigs.
We fish mid-lake, fishing in the bushes and the trees, just casting a jig, swimming it through the trees and bushes, catching the crappie.
Probably gonna hopefully swim some jigs, and we may do like a little drop shot rig with just a single hook with a minnow, bouncing it off the bottom and some of the wood structure, hopefully.
We've got some different colors from Freaky Frank's that he sent to us. So we're going to be trying some different colors. He makes specialty worms and seem to be working. So we're going to try the new colors that he's got out. Yes, sir.
Well, I was hoping for better weather than what's predicted, but I think with the cold front coming in on Friday, I think that we're going to have a really tough Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the fish that we catch tomorrow will be the fish that wins the tournament.
Yeah, the water's super clear. Normally we fish this in the spring and it's not quite as clear, but there's spots you can see down 10, 12 foot. So
what's that clarity do for you in the crappie?
It hurts us.
Yeah?
They spook real easy. So a lot of times we'll have to stay way off of them, and that's just kind of hard. So especially when they're scattered. If we can get 5-6 pounds, we'll be ecstatic. So.
Products that perform. Designed with the angler in mind. Unmatched action. Jenko Fishing. It's all about the action.
I'm Ricky Baker from Lancaster, Kentucky. This is David Gibson. He's from Lancaster, Kentucky. We got one good one.
Yeah.
Caught some little ones. Wish the wind would lay down just a little bit. It'd be a lot easier.
What kind of rigging are you guys using?
We're just like fishing live minnows, spider rigging, single hook. We tried jigs this morning. They haven't done no good. I don't know. I see them in here. I've got the live scope. I can see them. They're just not biting.
They don't want nothing this morning. No.
We're hoping they'll spark up a little bit here in a little while. I'd like to have 6 more anyway. Get on, Daddy. That's one good fish. Probably 12, 12 and a half. Wish we could get the brothers and sisters, mamas and papas.
Right. You guys fish this lake often?
All the time, yes sir.
What are some of the difficulties of fishing on this lake?
I think it's got a lot of good structure. A lot of it's getting old. I'd like to see the corn put some stuff in here. Of course, when they drain the lake, it's got all kinds of. You see the stick ups, but when the lake's up, a lot of it's too far in the water now. It's a good lake. It's some of the best crappie I think in the country here. We just don't do as good as some of the other guys do. We fished the circuit a lot last year. Of course, COVID killed everything. And so we only fished one other tournament, Old Hickory. So we're going to fish this one, one at Green River.
Anglers have found the crappie hiding among dead trees submerged along the edges of the lake. These trees actually grew while the lake was lowered over 40 feet beginning in 2007 to allow for repairs on Wolf Creek Dam. Several of the teams have found it advantageous to use a single pole and fish a small jig right down in the thick cover.
I'm James Toronto. I'm from Italy, Kentucky. And I'm Mark Meredith, and I'm from Hodgenville, Kentucky.
So, have you guys fished this lake before?
Yeah, not very often.
How would you describe this lake? Is this like an easy lake to fish? Is this a hard
Lake. Or I think any big lake, water like it's hard to fish. Or it is for me.
One of the biggest things is most of this lake, this part's not bad, but most of the lake, it doesn't have any drop off. I mean, once you get to the water, it's a sheer cliff. I mean, you'd be 10 feet off the bank, it'd be 25 foot deep. And that's, you know, most lakes in Kentucky aren't like it. That makes it a little more difficult.
What kind of rigging have you guys been using?
We've thrown everything but the kitchen sink. We've got jigs,
most
we've
of the
got
minnows.
jigs and minnows.
One of the popular methods this weekend has been the drop shot rig. This is simply tying a small jig to the main body of the line, keeping the hook hanging horizontal. Below that about a foot, tie a small weight. This allows you to have a positive contact with the bottom and yet have a small bait presentation for that slightest bite.
Yeah, that seems to be the best bait, minnow. They just weren't biting yesterday, and it seemed like after lunchtime, 1 or 2 o'clock, they started biting a little bit. Probably 15, 20 minutes for us, and it was over with. You know, we just drowned the minnows the rest of the day. So.
You guys have any better luck today or no?
Not yet. We caught a couple little ones, but I haven't caught any good
We got one
size
keeper in
fish.
boat, and I lost one about it's over a pound, maybe a pound and a quarter. Got it off the top of the water.
How do you think the weather today has affected the fishing?
I think it'll improve. The weather conditions should be improved. This wind don't get up too bad.
Now, how come you guys chose this spot right here?
That's what we caught them at yesterday afternoon. We missed 3 good ones yesterday afternoon. That's over a pound apiece. I lost one, probably a pound and a half in this area.
Is there any other parts of the lake that you guys plan on going to?
Probably not today. We fished other areas. I pre-fished 3 days up there and never caught nothing. But this on area I've caught any yet.
Last year, you caught more up in the river.
Toward the river, yeah.
Up toward the river.
Bridge. But that was it in the spring and later in the year.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time and good luck. Hope you guys catch some more.
The luck hasn't changed much while y'all are here. I don't know. I think you lied to us.
You know, we try our best, but like.
Innovative bait designs. Colors for all conditions. All your crappie needs, no matter your style of fishing. Jenko Fishing. It's all about the action.
Ryan Kennedy and Scott Sipe, Mendon and Rockford, Ohio.
You guys catch anything today?
One pretty decent one in the first 10 minutes.
You see that?
Beautiful. Awesome, thank you. What kind of rigging have you guys been using?
What's that?
What kind of rigging have you guys been using?
Live scope, just drop shot, live minnows.
Have you guys run into any difficulties on this lake so far?
Just the fish won't bite. They come up and look at it a lot, but they won't eat it very much. A bunch of little ones.
You guys ever fished here before?
It's my second time.
I never have.
Had any luck last time?
No, it was pretty awful conditions that time too.
Yeah.
Flooded and super hot when I was here last time.
Yeah.
You brought us some luck, but wrong kind.
Hey. You guys thinking of trying anything new?
I tried a hair jig a little bit ago and the same thing. And haven't tried any plastics yet today, but that's probably coming up soon. So they throw some slip bobbers, minnows out later and just let them try that too. I don't know. Yeah. Try to figure something out. Got a couple deep spots too to try, but try them later.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Good luck and have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, you know, we're always asked the question, how do I take care of my fish when I'm catching them in those deep water conditions? We're here at Lake Cumberland, Kentucky for the Crappie USA Super Event, and no better place to teach you how to do this than right here. We had several teams yesterday on day one tell us that they lost their better fish just because they couldn't keep them alive. So let me show you a real quick and easy way. And it doesn't matter what type of hypodermic needle, what size you use, you should be able to accomplish this. This is about a 18 or so, and it'll work fine. But basically, if you go to the very back of the side fin right here, that'll put you below the lateral line. You want to be below that backbone structure, which is right there on this fish. Then you want to lay the needle down against the scales on the skin and go under a scale. You can actually do this without disturbing the scales, without knocking a scale off. Then when you penetrate that skin, you only need to go in 1/4 of an inch or so. If you think about the thickness of that skin and double that, then that would be the thickness of the skin and the stomach together, or the bladder together, and you'll be able to do that. Now, if that fish is really bloated up because of the bends, basically, where you pulled him out of that deeper water, you'll actually hear and see the air dispersing from that fish. The sides will drop down, you'll hear the air coming out, and that fish should live long and healthy life. You'd think, well, it may damage them later. It won't. That fish will be fine. We've had to do this back in the days of tagging fish and all, and we kept these fish in confinement for 24, 48 hours before releasing them back to the lake. They make it just fine. There's just very little loss. So that's the way you can fish your fish and have a much better chance of keeping them alive.
Products that perform. Designed with the angler in mind. Unmatched action. Jenko Fishing. It's all about the action.
My name's Craig Dale. I'm from Stanford, Kentucky.
I'm Chris Morgan. I'm from Liberty, Kentucky.
We're just seeing a lot of fish on the live scope.
We won a tournament in here last weekend in this area.
What kind of rigging are you guys using? We're bobber fishing.
We're just using that live scope, spotting the fish on this timber and pitching the slip cork into them.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you guys for your time.
All right.
Good luck today.
Okay, folks, we're here at Lake Cumberland, Kentucky with the Crappie USA Super Event, 2-day event. It's a qualifier for the upcoming $125,000 Classic, which will be held the 3rd weekend of October on Green River, Lake Kentucky. Just a little ways from here, actually. Hop, skip, and a jump. We have 54 teams of some of the best crappie fishermen around competing this weekend. 42 teams are in the amateur division. 12 teams are in the pro division. Total purse this weekend is going to be something over $12,000. Now, we've got some fish ready to weigh, so stick around with us. Let's see what these guys have got. The teams are not only challenged this weekend with catching the biggest fish, they're challenged with catching the biggest fish that they can keep alive. These fish have to be alive when they enter the weigh-in line. A lot of these fish this time of year are deep. The deeper they catch them, the harder they are to keep alive. So they're backing up to smaller fish that they know they can keep alive. So it's going to be a real challenge to try to make that work and keep these 7 fish alive at weigh-in. The next team up would normally be the team of man and man, father and son team from Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Dad's had to set this one out, I'll bet. He's had some health issues lately, and we're just glad that he's doing really well. Chris, do I still have the voucher?
Yes, sir.
Get that rounded up for you. Nice box of fish, $4.57, Chris. Anything check for big fish?
I do. I got one.
Oh, look at there. That's a nice black crappie. $1.50, pound and a half, straight up. Just right in there. All right, smile like you just caught a big fish. Next team up, team of Massey and Dalton. Let's see, where's Dalton?
Oh!
Hey, Captain, Sheriff,
Sure.
what is it this week?
Well, I can call him a few names.
Yeah, $4.92. Team of Massey and Dalton. All right, right on up, guys. Team of Neil and Neil checking in. Boy, all you needed was 7 of them.
I know.
Y'all must have an electrifying personality the way that thing sounds. $2.20, guys. That's for 2 fish, man. We need to check that big fish. I'm not sure what we got going on with that. Big fish, 165. Next team up from Youngstown, Ohio, Robert Denon, one-man team. He had to catch them all by himself.
Just one, though.
Hey.
I'll take it.
One. You seen what Kenny
Yeah, I'll
did?
take one today.
It was tough, 0.83. A lot of good fishermen are not bringing in much. You know what that means? They didn't bite today, they'll bite better tomorrow. Right? Good luck tomorrow, Bob. Right now, on the pro side, Team Man with 4.57. Second, Patterson, 3.42. Third, Coasters and Hinksler with 2.95. Fourth, Jones and Thomas with 2.20. And fifth, Garland and Turpin with 2.18. On the amateur side, team of Rogers and Allen with 7.68. Marlowe and Seiler with 6.49. Creech and Creech with 6.38. Cochran and Cochran with 5.79. And in fifth place, Aaron and Aaron with 5.34. Big fish leaders right now, Rogers and Allen a 1.76 and Neal a 1.65. That's your top 5 going into day 2. And on behalf of Somerset and Pulaski County Tourism, I appreciate everybody coming out today. I appreciate the social distancing. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
That about does it for this episode. We'll be back on the water next week with another episode of Crappie USA.
This episode of Crappie USA TV is brought to you by Jinko Fishing. For high-quality baits, rods, and all your crappie and bass fishing needs, visit jinkofishing.com.